The free-to-play BR is now a staple in Call of Duty, and multiplayer will suffer. Why is that? Multiplayer will not get the same development resources that the BR will. And having this this free-to-play game, this free-to-play battle royale, means you can push microtransactions to a larger player base. And since it's getting them so much cash now, 3 million a day, you can be absolutely certain that they will continue to use this business model. In precisely the same way that having Warzone be free to play has negatively impacted multiplayer in MW 2019 Game of the Year edition, that trend will continue in COD 2020 and beyond. So the 3 million a day on microtransactions, do you think they get even remotely fucking close to that from multiplayer? Do you think they get remotely close to that selling full copies of the game to people? That's going to be... Can I get a Keck W in the chat for that absurd proposition? It's just that it's an absurd proposition. So, of course, they're going to continue doing the thing that makes them money hand over fist, which is the free-to-play battle royale in COD 2020. Because again, this goes back to what I was saying earlier, they're going to put their money into the thing that is giving them the largest return. And what is not giving them a large return compared to microtransactions to the tune of 3 million United States dollars per day is multiplayer. It's all Warzone. So do you think it is a fucking coincidence that there was no new content for multiplayer in Season 4? Think about it. Oh, but Raz, we got 2 multiplayer maps. Did we, though?
We did not.
Did we, though?
We did not. Literally, we did not.
What are the 2 quote-unquote new multiplayer maps we got, Tanner? Refresh my memory.
They are maps that were already in the game and picked from the game.
Exactly. So we got Scrapyard. Oh, that's a new map, right? Or is it, though?
It is not.
It's not, right. Because Scrapyard's already in the game. It's a part of Verdansk, the Warzone map. It's also a part of Zakhaev or whatever the fuck Boneyard. So all they did was they put a fucking red fence around a portion of 2 maps that already exist in the game and then packaged it in such a way that we're expected to believe that it's new content. It's not. What was the other quote unquote new map that we got? Do you remember the name?
It's Promenade, which is the best ground war map in the game, by the way. Shout out Locat, best ground war map in the game, Promenade.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So it's called Promenade. Now Promenade, oh, that's exciting. It's a new ground war map. Except, wait, no, you know what? It's not a new ground war map. It is, once again, they took Verdansk, they cropped a portion of the map, arguably the worst possible portion of the Verdansk map that they could crop to make a ground war map out of, by the way. And then they repackaged it as if it's new content. Promenade. So multiplayer got no new content. They did a piss poor job at trying to package Promenade as new content, but it's not. And you can expect this level of neglect for multiplayer players in the future. Because again, multiplayer is not making them $3 million per day. Warzone is. The battle royale that is free to play is. So in COD 2020, what we will see is, of all the budget for Call of Duty 2020, 90% of that pie is going to go into Warzone because 90% of their revenue is coming from Warzone, or whatever the name of the BR will be in COD 2020. And again, what does this mean for people who like Call of Duty for Call of Duty reasons? We can go fuck ourselves. We can go fuck ourselves because we don't matter, because we're not generating money for them. Now, I want to reiterate, I don't blame Activision for this. Their job is to make as much money as they can. And the way to do that, they're not wrong about this plan, by the way. If they want to make as much money as possible, they should do exactly what I think they're going to do, which is invest all of their money into the free-to-play BR and then just push microtransactions and get a fuck ton of money that way. You can't really blame them. You really can't. It is just the way it is. This is life. And, you know, sad to say, it's no one's fault really, but sad to say, if you enjoy Call of Duty multiplayer, you can go fuck yourself. And Tanner and I put ourselves in that boat. I like Call of Duty 6's 3-lane, traditional minimap, no skill-based matchmaking, bang it out multiplayer. That is what I play Call of Duty for. That is what I first started playing Call of Duty for. That is why I fell in love with Call of Duty. That is the shining beacon on the hill for the epitome of gaming to me for Call of Duty. And it would be nothing but bliss and heaven for me if each subsequent Call of Duty was a further step toward the perfect 6's 3-lane, no skill base, working minimap, good visibility, Call of Duty experience each year to the end of time. But that is not the case. That is not the case. We can be sure that most of the development resources that go into COD 2020 will be focused on what is going to make them the most money. And if MW 2019 is any evidence, which it is, by the way, they're not wrong about this, then we will see most of those resources going to the free-to-play Battle Royale. And it's a fucking shame. It's a fucking shame. But Tanner, what are any thoughts on this? What do you think?
I'm just furious at the season 4 release, essentially.
Oh my god, it's so bad.
I've never been more mad at this game. Honestly. I've been getting reamed season 4. I was expecting map changes, I was expecting gun changes, I was expecting a bunch of new things added. And we got nothing.
Nothing. And the 2 new guns, by the way, to be fair, the Vector and the Galil, also known as the Fennec and the CM Amex MasterCard credit card, whatever the fuck the name of that gun is. To be fair, those are new content. They're new guns. Now, to be clear, it's new content for multiplayer and Warzone. So make no mistake. They didn't make any effort to make multiplayer specific content. They allowed the multiplayer peasants some crumbs that Warzone was going to get anyway. So to be clear, it's not new content specifically for multiplayer. But multiplayer did get some new content, which is good, to be fair. The Vector and the Galil. But unfortunately, this is kind of a different point, and this is specific to MW 2019, but I think it's worth mentioning. It almost doesn't count as new content because it didn't change the meta at all. Because the Vector is no better than the MP5 at literally anything. And the Galil, you can make some arguments for. It's pretty fucking good. I would say in the vast majority of cases, it's not better than a Grau. But in some cases, it might be better than the Grau. It does hit harder. It does have more damage range. So you can make an argument that kind of shakes up the meta, but it doesn't really. So if you're releasing new guns that don't change up the meta at all, is it really new content? Now, in a Call of Duty of the past, it would be new content because I could use the new guns, even though they're not the best guns, in every lobby I play because I'm not getting skill-based. But the problem with skill-based matchmaking is that if there are new guns released and they are not the best guns in their class, I can't use them because I can't stand a chance against players who are using the best guns in their class. So the only way for a new gun to actually constitute new content with skill-based matchmaking being in existence is if those new guns are now the best guns in the game. Another problem with skill-based matchmaking. Another problem. So to sum this up, the thesis here is twofold. Number one, and I'm going to read this, I'm going to quote myself here. Quote, no matter how dissatisfied the player base is with this game, especially the hardcore fans of the franchise who have been playing for the last decade plus, they will not make any effort to appease them. Because despite the fact that they have spit in the face of these hardcore fans with this game and made money hand over fist, why would you expect them to care about these valid concerns and these valid opinions next year? Again, their goal is to make as much money as they can. So if they can tell true fans of Call of Duty to go fuck themselves and make double what they made last year, you can bet your bottom dollar they're going to do it again. And it's not their fault. Again, I want to be clear. That's just the way it is. I think the only thing that is not their fault is focusing all of their resources on the BR. I think it is their fault for releasing skill-based matchmaking because they erroneously think that that helps bad players. It doesn't.
Yep.
It doesn't. It just makes the gameplay experience worse for good players, and it keeps the gameplay experience exactly the same for bad players or new players. So I think you can I think you can genuinely blame Activision for a lot of things. And they've made a lot of choices that actually don't help their bottom line, and the only purpose they serve is to hurt their player base. I would blame them for those things. Skill-based matchmaking is one of them. The mini-map is one of them. The map design is one of them. Maybe. Yes, the map design is one of them.
Absolutely.
But Activision focusing all of their resources on the free-to-play BR because that's making them the most money, that is the one thing I would not blame Activision for. They're supposed to do that, man. They're a company. They're trying to make as much money as they can. They have shareholders. They have stockholder meetings. They have quarterly earnings reports. That is their job. They're supposed to make as much money as they can. So that is the one thing where I would not blame Activision. But everything else I just mentioned, I would absolutely blame Activision because it is not actually increasing their bottom line. They erroneously think it does. And number two thesis, if you were a fan of COD 6v6, you can go fuck yourself. It is never going to be the main focus of a Call of Duty title again. Tanner, your thoughts on these thesis statements?
I don't think I agree with it's never going to be the main focus of a COD again.
So you agree with thesis number one?
Yes, I agree with thesis part numero uno. I do not agree with part two.
So
I think it'll be much more prevalent in COD 2020, the Treyarch title, that 6v6 will be maybe not the most, well, maybe not as popular as it was in the past, but I think things like Ground War, Warzone will kind of be pushed to the side in that game. Believe me, Treyarch will find a way to make money. They'll put shit behind a paywall again.
You think the BR for next year is going to be pushed to the side for sixes?
I think so. Slightly. In a Treyarch title, yes.
Okay. For the record, for everyone listening, for the Dropshot listeners,
I'm doing it now.
Tanner could not be more wrong about this. Activision, we have to be clear, Tanner. Treyarch,
I know.
Treyarch is not the king of COD 2020.
I know.
Activision is. And
Okay.
Activision has seen the balance sheet, for this game. And they know that Warzone, or the BR, whatever it's fucking called, has made them the most money this year. I think it is fucking crazy to think that it is going to get pushed aside at all next year.